Well, hey everyone, Jay Whitner here with Crowdfunding Coverage, our internet TV show where we talk about the crowdfunding activities. We're brought to you by Kickstarter Coaching and the Space Finance Group, and today we're going to be talking about January of 2017. In January, there were 8 big campaigns. Those big ones brought in about $22 million in January. The largest campaign was a tabletop game called Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. So we'll talk about 8 of the big campaigns, but first we're going to talk about the news in crowdfunding for the month. In the summer of 2016, the equity crowdfunding regulations, some people call it equity crowdfunding for Main Street, went online in the summer, and there was a cap of $1 million per equity campaign per year per company. So some people have said the $1 million is not enough. There's been advocacy for a $2 million cap, a $5 million cap, and so forth. There is an effort in Washington to address some of the shortcomings of the current regulations about equity crowdfunding, and one piece of that is to increase that amount above $1 million. Indiegogo was in the news for the Consumer Electronics Show, which happens at the very beginning of every year. And what was newsworthy here was that there were 200 companies that got their start through Indiegogo that were represented at CES 2017. So another symbol of the power of crowdfunding. This is getting a real reach in all aspects of the economy now. Every year, Kickstarter does a little recap of what happened in the year that comes out, in January. So they just came out with their thing talking about 2016. The interesting thing I thought here was that 3.5 million people supported Kickstarter projects in 2016. I don't know if they have a total number, but I'm guessing somewhere in the 10 million people range have now contributed to Kickstarter campaigns. So it is getting to be a fairly large cross-section of, and Kickstarter is a U.S.-based company, so the U.S. has maybe a disproportionate share of activity and engagement in the platform. So it's getting to be a decent chunk of the American population has either supported Kickstarter or has heard about Kickstarter, so this bodes well for the future. Indiegogo did not get into the equity crowdfunding game at the very beginning, which, as I mentioned previously, was in the summer of 2016. They came in later, but they're showing some really good success already. They have already had several successful campaigns. They've raised $1.4 million so far on the platform. So Indiegogo is ramping up. And the theory's always been that once they get some momentum going, that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the equity crowdfunding space. So far, Refunder is still the strong leader, but Indiegogo definitely has the potential to become a major force here. Speaking of WeFunder, they are in the lead with, I believe it's still true, they've done more equity crowdfunding than all the other platforms combined. So they have a very commanding lead. And they are quoted as saying they want to triple their activity in 2017. So this would be awesome. They're an exciting bunch of folks, and they've done great things, and we wish them well in 2017. We're all looking to you to pave the way. So there are 8 big campaigns during the month. They ranged in size from $1 million to $12.4 million. The video length, which is an important factor, ranged from 1 minute and 50 seconds to 5 minutes 12 seconds, which is a bit long. The campaign length ranged from 8 days, which is dramatically short, up to 60 days. We'll talk about the 8-day campaign and why I think that happened. The reward levels in the campaigns range from 3 up to 24. 3, I would say, is on the skimpy side. Obviously, they had big success with it. And the updates range from 6 updates to 52. The first campaign we're going to talk about today is a new thing for crowdfunding coverage. We're talking about an equity crowdfunding campaign. This campaign was for a product called the golf board. So instead of using a golf cart, this is a thing you stand on, sort of like a surfboard. It can carry you and your clubs quickly through the golf course in an exciting new way. They hit the $1 million cap for equity crowdfunding through the Title III section. And this obviously was an equity campaign. They put a valuation on the company of $8 million value pre-money for the company. And their campaign in the main felt a lot like a traditional reward style campaign. They talked about some awards that they had won as a company for their product, and they chose to offer non-voting shares to keep the control of the company in the hands of the founders. Next, we have a campaign that was for a unique smartwatch. This is a smartwatch that converts the heat of your body in your wrist into electricity to run the watch. So this is an interesting take because people are certainly tired of all their electronic devices, running low on batteries. So some of the neat things they did is, it's one of the things offered by Indiegogo, is Aero Electronic Certification. This means that the campaign people talk with the Aero people about what they've done so far, how ready are they good to manufacture the device, and the Aero Electronics people, look over all that, and they can give a thumbs up or thumbs down. In this case, you have a thumbs up if the company is ready for production. They also talked about some of the awards that the company has won. They offered the watch in 2 different sizes with different features to give, again, a choice to the backers about what exactly they're getting, which I'm a big advocate of. The next campaign is Get Perfect Posture. A lot of people suffer from back pain. This campaign has a device that helps address that, not only when you're wearing it, but sort of you learn the right posture from wearing it, so it has residual value even when you're not wearing your device. Here again, 2 sizes of the product. Not all people are the same size. They offered 2 shipping dates, that they were having like one set of things that would go out faster than the others. They had back this project buttons. This is something I've pondered about, over time. Does this make sense or not? But not everybody is familiar with all these things, and they're looking through the thing. They don't know really how they want to engage with it. So there's just buttons in the platform. Click here to back the thing, and it takes you to where you need to go to back it. They also have expert endorsements. Depending on the type of product that you have, this can be very compelling to potential backers. Next, we have the Flow Motion Smartphone Stabilizer. Most, I think, of the smartphones now have a certain amount of built-in software to help moderate, like, your body movements while you're trying to take video, to help the product be a little bit better. But this goes a step further. This is a handheld thing that keeps the camera steady regardless of how you're moving your hand around as you're trying to record the event. So it's like another level of image stability for the situation. They had a very solid campaign, $1.3 million. They had a lot of supplemental videos in the campaign, which I think is a good idea. Your main video should not be too long. So if you have more stuff you want to convey, make extra videos and put them in the main body of your campaign. This is much better than having your primary video be overly long. They had multiple early bird pricing levels. This is reduced pricing for the people who buy the product at the very beginning of the campaign, help get the ball rolling. They also had a press kit that you could they have a little area in their campaign the members of the press could click on and get high resolution images and whatever else they might need to write stories about this product. So if you think that you have a good chance at big press coverage, consider what resources the press might want and aggregate them so that the press can easily find them. This next campaign was quite interesting. We the People was what they called it. And this is not a political show, but this particular campaign was brought by people, I guess, concerned about how the election turned out. And they use art as a communication medium, so they created lots of art that was relevant to the inauguration and their concerns about the inauguration, or the outcome, I guess. So one of the interesting things is I think this came together sort of at the last minute. So they ran an 8-day campaign because the big deliverable they wanted was art printed in certain newspapers so people could have it, at the inauguration, near the time of the inauguration. So by the time they had everything engaged, they had to have an 8-day campaign to make it all the timing work. But they raised $1.4 million, and some of the art was rather compelling. So this was kind of a neat idea. So what was special about it? Well, it was tagged into a national event that people were emotional about. This is a great thing if you're able to do that for a campaign, that you have some big external thing that gets people interested in what you're doing. One of their neat little awards was a postcard to the president. That was one of the things. So presumably because of the size of the campaign, lots of postcards will go to the president with some of this art on it and with messages from the people. Another cool idea that they have for reward is the same organization will create a visual campaign for your nonprofit. So for a $10,000 donation, they'll design art and work with artists to make stuff that conveys what's important to your nonprofit. The people at Rocketbook are back with another notebook idea. This one is called the Everlast Notebook. In this version, the pages of the notebook are made from a special material, and you write out whatever it is that you want to write. Then you take a picture with your smartphone and you wipe off the page with like a damp paper towel or something, and it's ready to be used again. On their project, they had multiple back-to-project buttons, which we've talked about today already. They had 2 sizes of their product. Again, give the people a choice. And they offered multiple units of the product. You could pick up to 50 units on their campaign. Maybe if you have a class that you're running or something that you need a lot of these notebooks. This next one was a really interesting campaign, Hyperdrive. The Apple company makes incredible computers that are really preferred. People love them. They come in different sizes. They're very user-friendly. But in their relentless pursuit of thin products, streamlined products, they've taken away a lot of the ports to plug in all of your accessories into your computer. So this has created some issues. So these people invented a thing that you can attach to the side of it. It's not permanent. Like you put it on the side of the computer with all these ports to plug in all your devices. So it really addresses a problem that challenges a lot of the Apple users. So some of the things they did is these Apple MacBooks come in a couple of colors. So this thing also comes in a couple of colors to match. They use supplemental videos to explain the features and benefits of what they're doing. And they had multiple stretch goals to help keep the money rolling in once they'd already surpassed their campaign goal. And quite successful. They raised $1.8 million in this campaign. And the big campaign of the month. This is a tabletop game with battle themes, horror themes, called Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. It's sort of a second iteration and an enhancement of the game that they put out previously. They had 10 stretch goals to keep the campaign growing and growing and growing. They had lots of add-on things that you could buy to supplement your game experience, different miniatures, different boxes, all kinds of hundreds of add-ons that you could get. And the longest campaign page I think I've ever seen. Just pages and pages and pages of images of all these things. Fantastic imagination. but it's hard for me to really understand how it was that they raised $12 million for this product. Phenomenal results. I'm happy for them. Congratulations. This is one of the biggest Kickstarter campaigns to date. So great work by them. And again, congratulations. That's it for crowdfunding coverage for the month of January 2017. If you want to learn more about crowdfunding, you can look at our website, kickstartercoaching.com. If you are a space advocate, you're in the space community, and you have crowdfunding interest, check us out at the Space Finance Group. So thanks for your time. Have a great day, and we'll see you a month from now, more or less, with a report about what's going on in the month of February. Take care.